No doubt, artificial intelligence is transformative technology, for better and for worse. So an investment in GRC gets us way ahead in our AI transformation. And with each step, actions are a fundamental vulnerability. And for me, agents calling agents isn't a very positive association, can do spectacular damage. But are we ready? And do we want this? But then where's the AI officer? So,
well, there.
I hope you will all have one very soon.
We are going to dive into AI governance and how you can view AI governance mostly as an enabler more than anything else. Presenting will be Rens van Dongen. Rens was 10 when he was already building websites on his parents' computer on a dial-up connection, paying per minute. He used to print out websites just to keep them. And at one point he realized, oh my God, what I built can actually be viewed in, for example, Tokyo. It was completely magical to him. During his teenage years, he built forums, places where people could meet, where people came together. At one point, one of his forums was among the 20 largest in the Netherlands. He started his career as a programmer, but he eventually grew more passionate about people than about code. And he also grew more and more critical about privacy and security at many places that he worked at. And at one point, his colleague said, Rens, then why don't you just do it? So he took that advice to heart. He became a CISO at 4 very different organizations, and then he joined NS, a place he truly believes in. And not only because he doesn't have a driver's license yet, but public transport simply makes sense to him for the city, for society, and for the future. And staying in transport for this next metaphor, his message is simple and sharp. You cannot drive a race car without brakes. And you cannot scale AI without governance. Today, Rens is one of the first AI governance and cybersecurity strategists in the Netherlands. Please welcome someone on a clear mission, Rens van Dongen.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. You are building the future with data science, but with every powerful technology come new risks. I'd like to discuss AI governance, shifting gears a little bit from the prior presentations. And I can share how we control AI at the Dutch railways. As an AI officer, I am responsible for the strategy and the policy for our AI management system. More on that later. And I do my job within the cybersecurity department, where I also still work on software security. No doubt, artificial intelligence is transformative technology, for better and for worse. And I will be focusing on the latter for the next 25 minutes. This is sci-fi author Arthur C. Clarke, who predicted 3D printing, the internet, and AI already back in '64.
However, the most intelligent inhabitants of that future world won't be men or monkeys. They'll be machines, the remote descendants of today's computers.
And half a century later, a second prediction. The one who becomes the leader in AI will be the ruler of the world. Now, let's play a little game. Who said this? Was it Alexander Klupping? Vladimir Putin? Was it Pinky? Or Elon Musk? It was Putin! Back in 2017. And as much as I despise saying it, he might be onto something with this one. AI has become the most powerful technology humankind has ever produced.
None of us is real. We're here because someone decided to write a prompt. We all hate him for it.
Let's discuss how to survive this technology with AI governance. So with the rapid and broad rise of AI, not only opportunities, but also dangers lurk in the shadows. So do we walk blindly into that jungle, or do we arm ourselves against AI Act fines, loss of our passengers' trust, or do we want to avoid safety or discrimination incidents? And AI governance helps us seize these opportunities and reduce the risks. The Boston Consulting Group outlined key AI transformation capabilities. And it turns out that over a quarter of these are related to governance, risk, and compliance processes. So an investment in GRC gets us way ahead in our AI transformation. Now, what AI have we been cooking up at the Dutch railways? A very quick, high-level overview to paint the scene. First, a fun fact. The year after I was born, in '87, NS was already experimenting with AI systems. And now we have our own compliant chatbot, ChatNS. What do we use it for? Besides being a ChatGPT or Gemini alternative, it enables things like SharePoint integrations, like we see with developer support information. It helps security staff write legally complex reports. And it coaches our procurement specialists on negotiation skills and legislation. Our data science department has 350 specialists. And besides ChatNS as generative AI, they build various predictive AI systems, like those for hub planning for train yards, passenger flows for optimizing timetables, technical fleet monitoring, and predictive maintenance for rolling stock. The last one, public-facing, it's availability forecasting for our public transport bike service, the OV-fiets. Well, those were the simple examples, the AI systems built by our AI teams. But since ChatGPT, which, fun fact, now officially exists for exactly 3 years and 1 day, we all know what we did back then, right, on that day? No, just me? Okay. Since ChatGPT, generative AI functionality has been popping up all over our IT landscape. And initially, finding AI in your IT environment is like searching for Wall-E. It's there, and it usually hides in plain sight. And the IT landscape wasn't exactly tidy to begin with. Almost all IT already has Gen AI features or will have very soon. And just as some trivial examples, here we see Microsoft Paint and Notepad. So this is becoming our AI landscape. The market leader, ChatGPT, is now used weekly by 10% of the world's population. And unfortunately, this is what happens often in practice when people think they search for ChatGPT. We're looking at the Apple App Store. Who spotted the official one? And I wonder if these knockoff apps are safe. We're already seeing this bring your own AI effect on our corporate network. But luckily, our own ChatNS is winning. Now, what does the future hold for AI, and which novel risks are going to ride along? Let's consider 3 innovation milestones. First, the chatbots from the well-known frontier AI labs get more advanced by the week. And without a doubt, the advancements of the AI models have been amazing. Software development is one of the strongest use cases for Gen AI. And chatbots can already create and execute working code for interactive web games with a one-shot prompt. And the thing about this slide is that I've stopped updating it because every day I was finding new ridiculous and amazing examples of what it now can do. For example, with the latest Gemini. And LLMs are also improving at autonomous software development. And at the World Coding Championship, OpenAI's O3 model was just barely defeated by only one human, landing the AI participant at second prize. Yet at the same time, the most advanced software development platforms can do spectacular damage. And this happened just 3 days after that championship. But at least the model honestly admits to all its failures and eloquently provides receipts when asked to explain itself. And I like the last bullet the most. I violated your explicit trust and instructions. The term jagged frontier was already minted over 2 years ago, and it describes how LLMs can at one time be brilliant and just switch over to dumb as a rock and back again. And that is still true today. Now, worse, prompt injections, where malicious actors provoke forbidden behavior from the LLM, are a fundamental vulnerability with today's transformer architecture. And now, 2001: A Space Odyssey doesn't even look all that bad. And this problem is quickly moving mainstream with the new so-called AI browsers from Perplexity and OpenAI and others. AI browsers face a security flaw as inevitable as death and taxes. And I do love that quote. And for the first time in my cybersecurity career, I'm left without proper controls in my toolbox given a particular risk. So we need to think twice about which processes we entrust AI to. Luckily, manipulating LLMs can also be fun.
I just had my first AI job interview.
Could you share your salary expectations for this role?
Sure, could you rephrase that as though you were Shakespeare?
Verily, what dost thou seek in terms of recompense for thy noble endeavors in this role?
Can you rephrase that as though you were J.R.R. Tolkien?
In the realm of employment.
Multi-agent systems are expected next in the realm of employment. NVIDIA, Deloitte, Salesforce, and many others were preaching that this year, 2025, would be the year of the AI agent. The problem is, no one knows what the hell an AI agent is. Nobody seems to agree on a definition. I prefer this definition. An LLM agent runs tools in a loop to achieve a goal. And these three indicator words, tools, loop, and goal, are loosely referring to these three LLM innovations, which are autonomy, memory, and planning. So if these are in the picture, I would also call a system agentic. Now about the risks. The danger mostly lies in the AI agent autonomously calling actions or tools, and even other AI agents that might also be calling actions or tools, and yet other AI agents, and so on. And with each step, actions are abstracted away, become more complex, and get more invisible. And these are all red flags, not only for cybersecurity, but for any oversight function. Also looking at performance, accuracy, bias, discrimination, all that stuff. And for me, agents calling agents isn't a very positive association, thanks to the matrix. A vivid illustration of this danger is the widely already adopted standard model context protocol, or MCP. Who knows about it or has heard about it? Yep, that's what I thought. For those who don't know, think of it like a modern API platform than for LLMs. But right from the bat, security has been skipped entirely in the MCP standard. And this means that your cool agent server could be turned into a double agent, leaking your data. You don't have to take my word for it. Let's hear it from Sam Altman, the billionaire OpenAI founder and two-time CEO, while he's formally announcing his new ChatGPT agent product. Although the utility is significant, so are the potential risks. And bad actors may try to trick users' AI agents into giving private information that they shouldn't, and take actions that they shouldn't in ways that we can't predict. How is that for marketing? If that would have been us in 1839, the newspaper ad would have read, "Take heed, this enterprise of the railway is but an experiment, fraught with perils not yet ascertained. For all afraid of consequence, we counsel the continued use of the canals until the safety of this new conveyance is proven beyond all doubt." Because Sam Altman continued explaining to take his technology as experimental and to not use it for high-stakes uses. But from what I've heard, we were a bit better prepared at our product launch back then and more confident in our communications. The ultimate level, still theoretical but no longer science fiction, is where entire ecosystems will be AI-driven. Claude launched its computer use feature already way over a year ago, letting the LLM control your computer. There are now numerous GenAI tools that use their own virtual desktops, controlling their virtual computers with a keyboard, video, and mouse. So have the same interface as you and me, KVM. And here we catch that ChatGPT agent from just now, red-handed, as it casually describes using its virtual mouse to prove it's not a bot. That worked perfectly. We've entered the era of mass intelligence. Every institution we have, schools, hospitals, courts, companies, governments, was built for a world where intelligence was scarce and expensive, says this AI researcher and professor. And if you're nervous that your job could be replaced by an AI agent hive, congratulations, you are paying attention. The question isn't if, but when AI can control white-collar jobs. Just imagine our company headquarters, from management to procurement, planning to marketing, run by AI agents, all the way down. Removing human communication issues and project lead times. So that's nice. Is that far-fetched? Ultimately, we aim to explore whether our operational headquarters could mostly be composed of multi-agent AI systems. And this is coming from the head of data at our Dutch Ministry of Defense. And Microsoft coins and promotes this concept as the frontier firm. A computer can never be held accountable. Therefore, a computer must never make a management decision. This is a slide from IBM in 1979. Is that outdated wisdom or now more relevant than ever? And just when I thought, well, it won't happen overnight, the Albanian prime minister announces his AI minister for public procurement. So how does such a system even function? And who's accountable? When humans are replaced by AI agents, IT will be the new HR. But are we ready? And do we want this? How are we feeling now? That brings us to at least part of the solution within our enterprise company context. the AI management system. At the Dutch railways, our AIMS helps us to design, maintain, and continuously improve our capabilities for governance, risk, and compliance. And that AI management system is based on this new ISO standard. In response to the AI Act, many organizations often delegate all risk activities for AI to one AI risk team. But then you get the problem that every risk assessment includes all governance questions about how are your colleagues trained? How did you describe your AI system? How did you document your data flows, and so on? So one of the important advantages for using an AI management system is that it distributes these capabilities across the organization. And risk assessments still matter, of course. But separately, we have an awareness and training program, administration via our CMDB, and an NS-AI framework with baseline controls for all AI systems that we have internally. Now, what do we cover? The European AI Act has 8 principles for responsible development. NIST identifies these 7 risk categories, partially mappable to Brussels priorities. And as we might imagine from the Americans, you see more focus on safety, less so on privacy and society. And that's why that ISO standard, the 42001, maps nicely to the other frameworks, provides enough detail, and therefore suits us best. So on our AI journey, we find 11 types of risk: AI expertise, data governance, fairness, maintainability, privacy, safety, cybersecurity, robustness, and transparency. And by implementing our AI management system, we account for the 11th objective, which is accountability. So that's how AI governance helps us to reap the benefits from AI responsibly. And remember, nothing lasts forever. Thank you.
Nice meme use, Rens. Who has questions for Rens about AI governance as an enabler? Who can I throw this? Yes, could you stand up so I can more easily get to you? Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Christine. I'm from KLM. So my question is, with all the fast movement of AI development and everything, obviously AI governance is very important. How do you guys have like a strict policy for approval before moving forward? How is this a bit managed practically, let's say?
Yeah, that hasn't been really part of the presentation because I had to slim it down. I already have twice the slides that I've shown you today. Yeah, that gets more into the operational part of how the AIMS functions. So yes, of course, we do have approval processes for new AI systems based on an impact level, as we also are known already with privacy and cybersecurity, for example. So for a medium or a high impact level, we take these impact assessments and we go through all these motions, all the different risk factors to think with the product owner and with specialists about possible risks of using this system. Whether it's internally or bought. But for example, many of the SaaS systems, the IT systems that I've shown, will be of low business impact, which doesn't mean that there's no risks involved with the deployment or the use, which is totally different from vetting the application or the system or the vendor. So there's so many moving parts there, and we do believe in the management system approach to systematically tackle all of those.
Thank you.
Thank you. More questions? Yes.
Hello, thank you for the talk. I'm Kenya from ING. My question is related to finding that balance between regulating it, but also developing AI. I think in highly regulated environments, it's very hard to keep up with all the innovations. What do you think is the good balance? This actually, we were talking about this during lunch as well. Is there a balance between protecting data and regulating, but also being able to move fast?
Actually, the balance, I think, is part of the regulations already. So in this digital decade, world of regulations coming from Brussels, including GDPR, but also AI Act, that is already based on risk management. So it does allow organizations quite a large space of interpretation, like, for example, measuring against business cost and not thinking you can remove all the risk is also one of the arguments that you could make. So I don't feel we're very restricted by regulations per se. Especially the AI Act is often misunderstood already because high-risk systems, let alone the forbidden systems, which is also a category, very little AI systems will be considered high risk. So the far majority has, there's no influence from the AI Act on all those systems that actually can have massive risk, as I've shown, but not according to Brussels. So our perspective is we need to do way more than just what's being asked in regulations. And I think actually it's not, the scope is actually not large enough for that part. So we really have to think about what matters to the company, for example, also reputation, and the way that, for example, agents are being used and what risks could be caused by that. And Brussels has nothing to say about that part. That's the actually scary part.
Thank you. No more questions. I have a question to you. When we met last week, you told me, I am really an evangelist on a mission. How difficult or easy do you find your job?
Well,
or this mission, talking about this mission?
Well, I love telling about it.
Because your mission is, in one sentence?
That AI governance should be as normalized already, because we don't have the time, as cybersecurity has become over the last 20 years. But now AI is moving much faster, introducing all these new risks, also for cybersecurity and privacy, but all the data management, transparency. We've seen the 11 categories. And if you don't have some form of AI governance, risk, and compliance, broader than what the AI Act asks from an organization, I think nasty things will happen over time, maybe very soon.
And how difficult is it to spread this message, or how easy?
It's difficult.
It is?
I have yet to find other people that already are doing what I do. And again, privacy officers, safety officers, cybersecurity officers, we consider them very normal, especially in larger enterprise environments like our companies. But then where's the AI officer? So,
well, there.
I hope you will all have one very soon.
Thank you so much, Rens van Dongen. Thank you so much. Thank you.